arrives this month, so join me, lead night sky ranger Jeff, also known as Star Dad, as we explore the night sky. It's Saturn's month to shine, and the Earth shadows the moon during a partial lunar eclipse.
Mercury shines at magnitude 0.5 near the crescent moon in the early morning hour before sunrise. It reaches greatest western elongation on the 4th, brightening to minus 0.2 magnitude. Mercury brightens as it also gets lower in the morning sky until superior conjunction on the 30th. Venus lies in the western sky near the horizon all month, shining at a magnitude minus 3.9. It will be visible for up to an hour. Its disk is 91% lit and spans 11 arc seconds. Try catching it just as the sun is setting. This month we look at the moon on the 15th, slightly to the south of the equator and about 90% of the way west of the middle. We're looking for the double crater Demoisio, located near the shore of Oceanus Procellarum. Named after the French Jesuit astronomer and selenographer Baron Marie Charles Theodore de Demoisio, 1768 to 1846. Head south to view another double crater, Rimae Cerasalis. The second impactor had destroyed most of the original crater, then chased the rill Rimae Cerasalis, which runs southeasterly. The rill was formed by the land being pulled apart, perhaps by an oriental impact. Our last stop will be Crater Billy, named after French mathematicians Jacques de Billy. Billy's floor is very dark in comparison with other craters. It has a number of small craters, but otherwise looks to be almost pristine, indicating one single lava flow. We have a partial lunar eclipse on the 17th, starting at 2041 or 8:41 p.m. At its peak, the moon will be in the umbral shadow of the Earth with an 8% coverage for a little over an hour. The eclipse ends at 0047 on the 18th. Mars is gradually getting brighter as we catch up to it in our orbit. Shining at magnitude 0.7, you will find the red planet in between the horns of Taurus the Bull at the month's beginning, crossing into Gemini. It will rise at 0100 and around 0140 by the end of the month. Its apparent size increases to 8 arc seconds. Opposition for Mars will occur in January 2025. Asteroid 7 Iris is in our sights this month. It is near the double stars Alpha Capricorni in Capricorn. Unfortunately, Stellarium does not have this object in its database, but I've located it fairly close to where it should be. At 9th magnitude, it outshines most stars in its current location. The double stars Alpha Capricorni are yellow stars. As is usual, sketch the star field on subsequent nights and see which object moved. Consult the Minor Planet Center for exact coordinates. At magnitude minus 2.3, Jupiter is brilliant in the eastern sky, rising at midnight on the 1st and by 2200 by the end of the month. Look for the dark bands on either side of the equator. See if you can find the fading great red spot. There are numerous transits of its moons, and they will be listed in the calendar of events later on. Saturn is at opposition on the 8th and is observable all night. At opposition, it will be brightly shining at magnitude 0.5. Its distance will be about 805 million miles, the closest for the year. The planet itself spans 19 arc seconds, and the rings extended to 53.5 arc seconds, with a 3.5 to 4.5 degree tilt, so it's almost edge on. Note how much brighter the rings are now that Saturn is at opposition. This effect, known as the Seeliger effect, is caused by the dark dust particles being hidden from view due to the ring's low relative angle. On the 1st, look for Titan just off southern Saturn. Don't forget that unless otherwise corrected for, mirrored telescopes invert the image. Uranus sits just 5 degrees southwest of the Pleiades, M45. It rises in the east after 2300. By the end of the month, this blue planet rises just after 2100. At magnitude 5.7, you'll need binoculars or a small telescope to view it in our light-polluted skies. Neptune reaches opposition on the 20th. Its diminutive 2 arc-second size shows no details, but for those wanting to see all the planets, it is worth it to find the blue planet located almost 2.7 billion miles away. You will find it trailing 16 degrees behind and 5 degrees higher in the southeastern sky. At magnitude 7.7, you will need binoculars or a small telescope to view it. Get a last look at Comet 13P Olbers before the tail disappears. The comet will be crossing Mars's orbit, and the greenish glow will be no more. On the 1st, look for it next to M53, and by the 20th it will be due south of Arcturus. Olbers won't return until the year 2094. See the Minor Planet Center for exact coordinates. There are no meteor showers this month. Our constellation of the month is Sagitta, the Arrow. This diminutive constellation is due south at sunset and 2/3 of the way up to the zenith. It is home to our object of the month, Charles Messier's object M71, the Angelfish Cluster. This magnitude 6 globular cluster is an easy target for binoculars or a small telescope. It was discovered by Philippe Loys de Chazeau in 1745. It is about 13,000 light-years away and spans 27 light-years, making it one of the loosest globular clusters containing more than 20,000 stars. Our question of the month is, what is a blue moon? You might be surprised to discover that there are actually 2 definitions. Most people would say it's the second moon in a given month, i.e. a moon on the 1st and the 30th of the month. But the second definition is somewhat bizarre. It is if there are 4 moons in a season, so of course that would happen if there are 2 moons in a month. But the above definition applies to the second moon, but this definition applies to the first moon. This can only occur if the 2 moons occur in the last month of a season, and both the first and second moon of the month would be blue. Or another way to say that would be to say that in the 3rd month of the season, full moon number 3 and full moon number 4 would both be blue moons. Here is your calendar of events. Here is the mid-month orrery. While it rained on Friday night, Saturday and Sunday were magnificent for the Perseids party. We had 127 people signed up. We looked at the sun, counting 42 sunspots, a record number for me. We stayed up all night Saturday watching the occasional meteor, about one every 15 minutes or so, and there was one spectacular one. Those that stayed up with me saw Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, the Andromeda Galaxy, and other deep sky objects. Join us next year if you can. While it's still warm, go out and enjoy the fall night sky and wonder at the universe.